Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and welcome to the class. It's the 14th class of the G3 Hifz-ul-Qur'an course, and today inshallah we'll cover Surah Al-Kawthar and we'll have a rule in focus, which is thick raw. Then inshallah we'll listen to the audio recording and there'll be hifz at the end and homework inshallah as well. May I please request ST to choose a student for me for the opening prayer? ST, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, Salam. May I please
I'm going to call AG3007.
AG3007, Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Can't find. Okay, I'll call another one. AG3074.
AG3074, Assalamu alaikum. AG.
Can you unmute him, please?
Yep, I'll try.
Okay.
AG3074, please unmute yourself now. Yeah.
Can I give you another one?
Yeah, next student, please. Yeah.
Okay. AG3075.
075. Assalamu alaikum. AG3075.
AG3076.
Assalamu alaikum.
They are in the class. I don't know.
Yeah, none of them is accepting. Assalamu alaikum, students. Wa alaikum salam. What's your ID?
AG3076.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. May I please request you to start from 1000 Tasmiyah and read the opening prayer for me?
Yes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربي علمني ما هو خير عندك. And the
Try again. Start from the beginning, please. Sorry.
ربي علمني ما هو خير عندك.
Well done. Yep.
And the translation, O my Lord, teach me what is best for me in your knowledge. And the reference is Tazkira.
Jazakumullah. Jazakumullah. AG3076. Jazakumullah. Okay. So we'll move on to our class etiquettes. And make sure you have done your wuzu, okay? You're in your clean clothes, your head is covered, and make sure you're sitting in a quiet place so that you can pay attention. And make sure that your students, your parents are with you. So there should be parental supervision, and every parent should make sure that their child is paying attention to the class. And make sure that your ID is correct. If your ID is not correct, you'll be put into the waiting room. And I can see that many students are with their wrong IDs. Either they are with their names or with some random IDs. So please make sure you are with your correct IDs. And also keep your videos off. I could see some students turning them on, so please don't do that. Jazakumullah. So today we are going to start with the introduction of Surah Al-Kawthar. And if everybody knows that Surah Al-Kawthar is the smallest surah of the Holy Quran, and it means abundance of good, okay? And it has 4 verses, 1 ruku, and it was revealed in Mecca. And the subject matter of the surah is that this surah constitutes a strong proof of the Holy Quran being the revealed word of God, and of the serial arrangement of the surahs having adopted under divine direction. The promise contained in this surah was made at a time when the Holy Prophet ﷺ was hardly known outside Mecca, and his claim that he was the last deliverer of humanity was looked upon by his fellow citizens as unworthy of serious consideration. So the promise is in indefinite and certain terms. Okay, so this is the overview of Surah. Okay, I would just, give me a second and I would just, okay. So we'll move on to our rule of today. So today our rule is thick raw, okay? So there are two categories to this rule. So let's divide them into two categories. One is raw sakin, so raw with a sakun on top. And the other one is raw mutaharrik, which is a raw, any raw, which carries a stroke on top. So if you, for example, you can see that this raw is carrying fatha on top. So we'll call this raw a mutaharrik raw. This raw is carrying fathatain on top. So we'll call this mutaharrik. Similarly, this raw is carrying dhamma, so mutaharrik raw. And this raw is carrying kasratain. So, dhammatain. So we'll call this a mutaharrik raw. And for raw sakin, you can see that this raw is carrying a sakun sign, and therefore that's why we call it a raw sakin. So now that we have divided it into two separate sections, let's focus on the rule. We'll focus on the raw mutaharrik first, okay? So the raw mutaharrik is pronounced thickly only if it carries a fatha. As you can see that this raw is carrying a fatha, dhamma, or tanmeen. Okay, so there's three strokes that will make a raw, a thick raw. So fatha, dhamma, or tanmeen. So we can see that this raw is carrying fatha, so that will be a thick one. This raw is carrying a tanmeen, so this will be a thick one. This raw is carrying a dhamma, so this will be a thick one. And the only exception is that the kasra is not here. So whenever there's a kasra under the raw, it will not be thick. It will be thin. Okay. And the raw sakin, let's look at that. The three reasons why we'll pronounce it thickly. Okay. The first one is that if the previous mutaharrik letter, remember the mutaharrik letter is the one that carries a stroke. So that if the letter before the raw is mutaharrik, it carries a maftuh. A maftuh is a letter with fatha on top, or any letter, or madmum, which is a letter with dhamma. Then we will have a thick raw. So for example, okay, there's a lot of echo in the. Assalamu alaikum. Yep, now it's fine. Okay. So if the previous mutaharrik letter, if we look at the example over here, so al-Kawthar, okay, the tha is carrying fatha on top, and then we have raw. Okay, this one is thick because the tha, the letter before that, is a mutaharrik letter, and it's carrying a fatha on top. That's why it's thick. Okay. The second reason why raw sakin would be a thick raw is if it's followed by a thick letter. So, for example, here the raw sakin. After the raw sakin, we have sword. And as you guys know, that the sword is a tafkhim letter, a thick letter. Okay, so this is why the raw sakin will be a thick raw. And lastly, if the raw is preceded by hamzatul wasl, what's hamzatul wasl? Is a blank letter, a blank alif. Okay, so if the raw sakin is preceded by a hamzatul wasl, then it will be a blank. The raw will be a thick one. So as you can see here, we have alif first, then we have raw sakin. Okay, so alif is a blank alif, and the next we have raw sakin. Therefore, this raw will be a thick one. I hope everybody understood. May I please request ST to choose a student for me, so that we can just practice these words.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah.
Welcome, Sam.
Can we have NG3 107?
NG3107. Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, Salam. That's NG3107.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. May I please request you to recite the first word for me?
Okay. Rabbi.
Okay, so make sure this raw is thick. Try again.
Rabbi.
Yep. So when you're pronouncing the raw, your mouth should be a bit rounded instead of open. Okay, instead of Rabbi, it's Rabbi. Good.
Okay.
The next one, please.
Naran.
Try again.
Naran.
Okay. Again, this raw would be thick. Why do you think this raw would be thick?
Because it's got double stroke on it.
It has what? Sorry.
Double stroke.
Well done. So it has fathatain on top. Well done. Excellent. Move on.
Nasrullahi.
Well done. Again, well done. Excellent. And just as we touched upon this rule before, would you be able to show what type of lam this is? So would it be a thin lam or a thick lam?
A thick lamb.
Well done. So majestic lam or emphatic lam. And why do you think that is?
Because it's carrying the ma.
Well done. The letter before that is carrying a dhamma. And this rule only applies to Allah's name. So the lam in Allah's name, this rule is only for that. Okay? Well done. Let's move on.
Ghafurun.
Perfect. Well done. So Jazakumullah, there was NG3107. Can you have next one, please?
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, Salam.
Next one is going to be AG30. Oh, sorry. Is it? Have this one been 3091? Yeah.
AG3091. No, we haven't had that before. So
Okay.
AG3091. Assalamu alaikum. AG3091. Can you hear me?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Okay. May I please request you to recite the other set of words? To start from Al-Kawthar, this one.
Al-Kawthar.
Okay. So would this raw be a thick raw or a thin raw, and why?
A thick one.
A thick one. Well done. And do you know the reason?
No.
No? Okay. So here there are 3 reasons mentioned here. Read them and let me know which one do you think it is. One of the from one of them. So the first one says that if previous mutaharrik letter is a maftu, so the letter with the fatha, or madmoom, which is a letter with dhamma, then you'd have a raw sakin, which is thick. The second one is that if raw sakin is followed by a thick letter, so for example, swad is a thick letter, so that's why the raw would also be thick. And thirdly, if raw sakin is preceded by hamzatul wasl, which is a blank alif, so if the raw sakin, before the raw sakin, if we have blank alif, then the raw sakin would be thick. So which one of them do you think it is?
The second one.
Okay, so let's see. So we have tha. So second one says that if raw sakin is followed by a thick muqaffam letter, which letter is thick in here?
Raw.
Yeah, but we have to have a letter other than raw.
The sa. One
Yeah,
before it.
so no, that's wrong. So this rule says that if the raw sakin is followed by a thick letter, the raw is a last letter, it's not followed by anything. So the second rule is not the correct one. It's actually the first one. So if you see that the letter before the raw sakin is tha, and it's carrying a fatha on top. So it's the first rule. Okay, that's why it's thick. Okay, let's move on. The next letter, please. The next word, sorry. The next word.
Waltanzar.
Okay, again, make sure the raw is thick. Try again.
Waltanzar.
And this is dhamma. Once again, please.
والتنظر
Good. Move on.
مرصاد.
Okay, good. So now here we can see that the Rosakin is followed by a thick letter, which is Swad. Okay, Swad is one of the Tafkhim letters. Okay, let's move on.
ربي أرجعون.
No, this alif is blank, so we don't pronounce this alif.
ربي أرجعون.
Good, well done. And you can see here that alif, blank alif is before the Rosakin, and that's why we have a thick Ra. Okay, well done. Jazakumullah. That was NAG 3091. Okay. So before moving on, I can see that there are many students who are without their IDs, the correct IDs. Please make sure you are with the correct IDs. Otherwise, first of all, your attendance will not be marked. And secondly, you will be put into the waiting room, which means that you'll lose precious time in the lesson to learn. So please, may I please request students to correct their IDs, rename themselves, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, Sam.
I just want to make another announcement as well quickly.
Sure.
AG 3074, I can't unmute all the time. His speaker was on. So if he can do unmute or mute himself, please.
Yep. So AG 3074, can you mute yourself, please? And I'll try to. Yeah, he is muted now, I think. Okay. Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
Okay. Now we'll listen to the audio of the surah. So I'll share my screen. Okay. So I request everybody to follow along with this with the clip.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
إنا أعطيناك الكوثر
إنا أعطيناك الكوثر إنا أعطيناك الكوثر
فصل لربك وانحر
فصل لربك وانحر فصل لربك وانحر
إن شانئك هو الأبتر
إن شانئك هو الأبتر إن شانئك هو الأبتر.
Okay. So I hope everybody has repeated after the audio clip. Okay. So let's pick students for the practice now. May I please request ST to choose a student for me?
Yes, AG 3075.
AG 3075. Assalamu alaikum.
AG 3074.
Yep, AG 3074. Can you hear me? AG 3074. Can you hear me? Okay, no response.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. That's AG 3074, correct?
Shall I recite Surah Al-Kawthar?
Yes. So this, first confirm, are you AG 3074?
Yeah, I am AG 3074. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, good. Yep. Please start from Thousand Tasmiyah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر.
Yeah. Can you do that one more time, please?
إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر.
Well done. MashaAllah, well done. With your raw sounds, perfect, good. I would just like to take your attention to the noon with the shdeed on top. What type of, what do we need to do? What type of rule is that?
Isn't it like the nasal sound?
Yep. So would you like to try again?
إنا أعطيناك الكوثر.
Yep. So you have to hold the noon sound for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Good. What about this noon?
Yeah, you also have to do it for 2 seconds because it's.
Yep. So would you try again, please? So in. Good. Well done. Excellent. What did you do here on this ba sakin?
The bit where you have to like a thick and a thin sound. I think it's like kalkala. Yeah, kalkala.
Perfect. Well done. The kalkala. The kalkala means to jerk. Okay, so ba is one of the kalkala letters. So ba is carrying sakun. That's why it's a kalkala letter. Well done. So what type of kalkala it is? Is it soft, moderate, or strong?
If it's
This particular one.
Oh, that one is soft.
Well done. Excellent. And why that is? Why is that?
Because so like it's like in the word, like the word is there and then it's in between of it. That's why it's soft.
Well done. Perfect. Excellent. Well done. And this noon sakin, why did you what type of word is that? Is it ikhfa or is it zahir, izhar? Which one is that?
It's izhar.
Perfect. So what do we mean by that?
It's like you have to prolong it for a second only. Yeah, it's a second, isn't it? From your throat. And
it's not about prolonging. It's about manifestation of the sound itself.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Manifestation.
So the noon will be pronounced. The noon sound will be pronounced clearly, because the letter next to it is ha, which is izhar letter. Okay, so well done for that, mashallah. Jazakumullah, that was AG3074. Jazakumullah.
Okay.
May I have one more student, please, for the practice?
Okay, we can have NG3106.
NG3106. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Can't unmute her. So we can have NG3045.
Yep, NG3045. Can you hear me? NG3045 also. Let me try.
I can't unmute.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes.
Walaikum salam. Yep. So that's NG3045. Okay.
Yeah.
May I please request you to start from Tawbah and Tasmiyah and recite the surah, please?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر.
Well done. Mashallah. Good. Just few things to say. That we have alif, and what type of what type of stroke is on top of alif?
Mud.
Yep. So what type of mud? Good.
Mud.
Which one? Sorry.
Matsuri.
Well done. Excellent. Mad Saghir. Well done. So how long do you have to prolong this for?
3 to 5 seconds.
3 to 5 seconds. Perfect. So would you like to try again?
Okay. Inna a'tayna kal-kawthar.
Well done. And would you like to read the third verse as well, please?
Okay. Fasalli li rabbika wanhar.
Good. Well done. What type of ha is that? Is it the one from the throat or is it a simple one?
Is it the one from the throat?
Yes, perfect. Well done. Jazakumullah. That was NG3045. Jazakumullah. Jazakumullah. Okay. So now it's time for the breakout room. Okay. I'll just send an invite in a few seconds. Give me a second. Please bear with me. Meanwhile, you can see the surah on screen. Please revise the surah meanwhile. Okay, so the invite has been given to the students. So those who have been given the invite, can you please accept the invite and go to the breakout room for the Hifz? Jazakumullah. Sorry for the delay. Can we now have a student for the Hifz, please?
Okay. I can call AG3113.
AG3113, 113, Assalamu alaikum. AG3113, can you hear me?
Okay, I'm going to call next NG3106.
NG3106, Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum salam. What's your ID again? NG31. Yeah.
106.
Okay, that's fine. Jazakumullah. Have you read Surah Al-Fatiha as part of your hifz before?
Yes.
Okay. Which is a surah that you have not done yet, that we have covered?
I've only read Surah Fatiha.
Okay, so I've only read Surah Fatiha. Okay. So do you know Surah Al-Nas? Surah Nas?
Yes.
Okay, so do you know that off by heart, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So may I please request you to start the surah from 1000 Tasmiyah?
Yes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس.
Perfect, mashallah. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect, excellent, excellent. So you can, as you can see, there is no yellow, there's no highlight, which means, mashallah, you've made no mistake. Well done for that. And I hope that every other student has paid attention to how AG3106 has read, and G3016, sorry, has read. Mashallah, well done. Let's see. What type of rule is the noon with tashdid on top? So what do you have to do here?
Mushaddad.
Yeah. So what do you have to do with the noon mushaddad?
We have to guna it.
Perfect. Well done, which you did, mashallah. And what did you do here? So we have noon sakin, and then after that we have sheen. So what did you do here? Do you know? You pronounced it correctly, mashallah. So what do you do with the noon sakin sound? Do you recite it clearly, or do you hide the noon sound, conceal the noon sound?
I hide the name sound.
Perfect. So this is because the letter sheen is a ikhfa letter. Ikhfa means to conceal. So whenever we have noon sakin and after that we have a ikhfa letter, we have to conceal the noon sakin sound. So well done for doing that. Would you like to recite this once more, please? Just this.
من شر
Well done. Perfect. Excellent. Okay. Let's see. Okay, that's fine. Mashallah. Well done. Do you know Surah Al-Falaq?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to start reciting, please?
Yes. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد.
Perfect. Once again, mashallah, very well recited. No mistake of the tajweed. Well done. I would just like to say one thing. I noticed that you're taking breaks in between letters, words. For example, this one, you took a break before you said thati. So just make sure that if you think you're going to go out of breath, you stop and then you start from the beginning again. Okay, or any word that makes sense. Okay,
Okay.
well done. And just like to point out one thing, that the sound and tha sound should be different. It shouldn't be za or sa. Okay, as you can see, this is tha here. So what you do is, do as I say, please. So take your tongue out, touch your upper teeth, and then say tha.
Tha.
Well done. So you can see the difference. So this is tha, and the incorrect way of saying it is sa. So don't make sure that your upper teeth and your lower teeth are not touching each other when you're saying this letter. So it should be tha. So take your tongue out, touch the upper teeth, and say tha.
Tha.
Well done. And similarly, there is the. It's the. So take your tongue out, touch your upper teeth, and say this letter.
Tha.
Perfect. So it's not za, it's the. Okay, well done. Jazakumullah. Now we'll give a chance to another student. Okay, Jazakumullah. Can we have next student, please?
I'm going to call AG3113.
AG3113, can you hear me? Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam. Okay, so which surah have you not read as part of the Hifz?
This one.
So you've not read.
So yet.
Sorry?
I haven't learned it yet.
Oh, you haven't learned Surah Al-Falaq? So do you know Surah An-Nas off by heart?
No.
Okay. So what about Surah Al-Fatiha?
Wait.
Yep. Do you know Surah Al-Fatiha off by heart?
Yes.
Okay, tell me a surah that we have covered so far, and do you know it off by heart?
Surah Al-Fatiha.
So you know Surah Al-Fatiha. Well done. So have you recited Surah Al-Fatiha in the class before?
No.
Okay, so let's do this then, Surah Al-Fatiha. And in terms of the other surahs, because we have covered them, okay, so please make sure that you memorize them. Otherwise, you'll fall behind in the class, okay? So let's start from Surah Al-Fatiha then. May I please request you to start from Tawbah and Tasmiyah and recite Surah Al-Fatiha for me?
Yeah.
Perfect.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم wait, just wait a sec.
No worries. So if I just give you a clue, so it's Maliki.
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
Ameen, Jazakumullah. So you do know the surah off by heart, which is good, mashallah. So I'll just share my screen. Okay. But you need to learn it with correct pronunciation, okay? You know the surah, but with correct pronunciation. Okay, so the next time you read Surah Al-Fatiha, read from the Holy Qur'an and pay attention to the rules that we have done so far. So today, for example, we have done rule of thiqra, okay? So, we had this exact word, so Rabbi, yeah? So when we did the practice for thiqra, we had this exact word. So you can see that the ra is carrying fatha on top. Therefore, we have this ra, it would be a thick ra. So make sure you pronounce it thickly. So try again.
Rabbi.
Yeah, so start from Alhamdu, please.
Alhamdulillah Rabbi Alameen Rahman.
Well, then that's it. That's enough. That's fine. So the ra here as well, that's also a thick ra. So yeah, thickly. And the ha. So and ha in Alhamdu and Ar-Rahman. and Ar-Rahim as well. But specifically Ar-Rahman, Suha, and Alhamdu. They would also be thick. Sorry, not thick. They would be pronounced from the middle of your throat. Okay? So because the other ha and this ha are similar sounding letters, we have to make sure that we differentiate them from each other. So this ha would be from your throat. So try again, please.
From where? From here at the beginning.
Yep, so Alhamdu.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin.
So Alhamdu. So the lam, sorry, the lam should be, I don't hear the lam sound. So try again, Alhamdu.
Alhamdulillahi.
Perfect, that's it, that's enough. That's enough, Jazakumullah. Now here, the meme and the dal. So the dal is carrying a tashdid on top, so which means that we have to give emphasis to this dal. So when you were reciting it, you didn't give emphasis to this dal. So make sure you do that. So start from Maliki.
Maliki Yawmiddin.
Good, well done. Now you did it correctly, well done. But overall, if I say, make sure that this is vertical fatha, correct, on top of meme. So you have to prolong it for 2 seconds. Maliki, okay? And then the ayn sound. Make sure you differentiate between the ayn and the alif. So iyyaka na'budu, so from the middle of your throat, okay? It should be na'budu. You have to have the ayn sound. And here, this ha is different, however, correct? It's different from this ha on Alhamdulillah. So make sure that this ha is just pronounced basically, so basic. So ihdina, that's it, not from your throat, okay? And we can see that this to is one of the tafkhim letter, thick letter. So you have to pronounce it thickly too. And this ra is also a thick ra, okay? So Jazakumullah, but please practice, please learn the surah again, but with the correct pronunciation. But well, a good attempt though, mashallah. So well done. May I please have a next student from
I'm
SC?
going to call, yes, I'm going to call AG3007.
AG3007, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Okay. May I please request, so which surah have you recited as part of your hifz?
No one.
Okay, so that's your first time today, right? Yeah, okay. So do you know Surah Al-Fatiha off by heart?
Yes.
Okay, so please start reciting the surah.
Okay. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal lazina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waraddallin.
Ameen. Jazakumullah. Well done. So let me just share my screen here. Okay. So you can see that the ayn is highlighted. Why do you think that is?
Vertical fatha.
Right? Yes,
And
that is vertical fatha, but what about, why do you think I have highlighted this?
Because you have to prolong it for 2 seconds.
Yep, so that's the rule for vertical fatha, which is good. And you did prolong it for 2 seconds, so that's correct. There's another reason. It's about the ayn itself. What type of, how do you pronounce this letter?
Ayn.
So from your middle of your throat, correct? So make sure you do that. So start from Alhamdu again, please.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Good. So recite this verse as well, please.
Ar-Rahmanir Rahim.
Well done. Well done for making this raw thick, because this raw is carrying fatha on top, and therefore this would be a thick raw. Well done. Excellent. Here, you said iyyaka na'budu. This wouldn't be, you wouldn't give a jerk here because there's no sukoon on top of alif. Okay, it's just a blank alif. So so this one is, what type of letter is this? Alif. Do you know?
It's a harf-e-mad.
Good, perfect, well done.
Yeah.
And how long do you prolong this for?
2 seconds.
Perfect. So instead of saying iyaka, it's iyaka. So you have to prolong it for 2 seconds. So try again, please.
Iyaka.
Good, well done. Okay. Here, I did not hear the ha sound. I just heard idina. Okay. So just make sure that this ha sound is we can hear in the word. So try again, please. Yeah, well done. So ihdina. Good. Well done. Okay, so just for information, what type of letter is ghain?
It's a thick letter.
Perfect, well done. Excellent. And well done for this word, especially, mashallah. You prolonged it well, and you gave emphasis to the lam when you were joining it, so which is good, mashallah. So well done for that. Do you know any other surah?
Yes.
Okay, do you know Surah An-Nas?
Yes.
Good. Would you like to start reciting, please?
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Qul a'udhu bi rabbin nas, malikin nas, ilahin nas, min waswasil khannas, allazi yuwaswisu fi sudurin nas, minal jinnati wan nas.
Okay, good. Well done. I'll just share my screen. Give me a second. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I've only highlighted one mistake, but I could I'll tell you along. So you said, what did you say here? Would you like to pronounce this again, please? Okay. So you gave a noon sakin sound very clearly. So you said min sharril, which is not correct. Do you know why?
Because it's an ikhfa.
Well done. So we do ikhfa because the letter next after the noon sakin is sheen, which is a ikhfa letter. So just for that, so that you can visualize, this is PDF. It's on nqc.org.uk, which everybody can access. So here are letters of concealing. You can see here, letters of concealing or huruf al-ikhfa. And if we go down, we can see that sheen is one of them, correct? Therefore, that's why whenever the noon sakin or tanween, it's not just for noon sakin, it's also for tanween. Whenever we have these two and the next letter is a harful ikhfa, then we have to do a concealing noon sound. So min sharril, but you said min sharril, which is why it's wrong. Okay, so next time, please keep that in mind. Okay, so here the noon is carrying a tashdid on top. So would you like to recite this again, please? Recite this last part, please.
Minal jinnati wan nas.
Perfect, well done. So Jazakumullah, that was AG3007. Jazakumullah. Okay, so now I will close the breakout room Okay, so it will take us 60 seconds for the students in the breakout room to come to the main session. So we'll just wait 60 seconds. Meanwhile, I'll just go back to our today's lesson, and specifically, I'll go to the rule that we have done, which is here. And I would like everybody to meanwhile read these rules, please, so that you know when you have to do the raw and when thick and when you have to do it thin. Okay. Okay, so now that everybody is in the main session, we will go to our homework section. Oh, oops. Okay, here we are. So your homework for today is that you have to memorize Surah Al-Kawthar, because that's the surah that we have done today. And this is a very short surah. It only has 4 verses, including Bismillah. And so therefore, this shouldn't be a problem. However, for those who have memorized it before, now go back to the surah again and see if your pronunciation is correct or not. So if you've done it with correct tajweed, then that's good. But if you've not done it with correct rules and regulations, please make sure that you go over it and memorize it again, okay? The next thing is that you have to revise the surahs that we have done so far. So if you don't memorize the surahs that we have done, you'll fall behind the class, okay? So please make sure you revise the surahs. You can see the chapters we've done so far, so make sure you revise all of them. The exciting part of the homework is the rule quest, as we have done this before. So this time the focus of this surah is Surah Al-Maun. Okay, it's chapter 107. It has 8 verses. It was revealed in Mecca, and its meaning is small kindness. Okay. So for those who are 6 to 7 years old, you have to find thick letters from it. So today we have done thick raw, so that does not come into the Safhim letters, but this can be included in the thick letters. It's a thick letter, that's why it has been included in here. So you can see all these thick letters. Please make sure you point them out in Surah Al-Maun. Then for those who are 8 to 9 years old, make sure you point out the lean letters. So what are lean letters? So the lean letters are Ya Sakin and Waw Sakin, preceded by a letter which is carrying a fatha. So any letter that is carrying fatha, and after that is Ya Sakin or Waw Sakin, we'll call this a lean letter. And it will be softly pronounced, so softly prolonged for 2 seconds, okay? So for those who are 10 to 12 years old, you have to look for mud letters. So as you can, we've already done this. So blank alif, Waw Sakin, and Ya Sakin, these 3 are mud letters. And they cause the previous letter to be prolonged for 2 seconds, okay? So please make sure you find these according to your age groups, okay? So now I will request the SD to choose a student for me for the ending prayer, please.
Okay, I'm going to call NG 3011.
NG 3011, Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. May I please request you to recite this ending prayer for me, please?
Okay. Allahumma arhamni.
Start from 1000 tasniyah, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم ارحمني بالقرآن العظيم واجعله لي إماما ونورا وهدى ورحمة. O Allah, have mercy on me through the great Quran, and make it for me
the leader, the light, the guidance, and the mercy.
Well done, mashallah. Beautiful recitation. I would just like to point out one thing at the end. The ya is carrying sakun and it has mad sagir. So please make sure you prolong it for at least 3 seconds, okay? Otherwise, mashallah, very good recitation and good tune as well, mashallah. Jazakumullah. Inshallah, we'll have a class tomorrow. So, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.